Hey guys, welcome to a new movie review. Today I'm going to be talking about the new David Fincher film, The Game. Well, it's not really a new film, but it's new to me. This is more of a David Fincher classic, I should say. And it's a film that he worked on after Seven, but before, other bigger films he worked on later on, like Gone Girl and, The Social Network and stuff like that. So, like I said, not a new film. It was just new to me. I apologize for that. But this is a David Fincher classic. A lot of people really like this one, including myself. It is on the Criterion Collection. But I finally got around to actually just fully viewing it all together. It's one of those films where I saw really small pieces of it over time, but really haven't gotten around to seeing the entire film until just recently. So, like I said, it's new to me. So, in the game, you guys, if you haven't seen it, as always, I'm going to do a spoiler free review. So, no spoilers in this. So, if you haven't seen it, you're completely safe here. I'm just giving you my spoiler free opinion of the movie. So, let's talk about the game. So in this movie, you guys, Michael Douglas is this busy businessman, and his brother gives him this really unusual gift for his birthday where he has to go to this certain business and take a series of tests and so forth. And he's promised that this business will make his life more fun, but he's kind of worried about it first. He really doesn't know what it is. People who even work there really won't say what it is either. And so he takes these tests, and they say that the game will start when he's comfortable with it. And so he takes that with a grain of salt. But we know when he gets home, these weird objects he finds. He's meeting people in weird ways. He has to solve these landscape puzzles in ways. So he's definitely facing things that he's not normally used to seeing a lot. So in a way, this game has kind of started without him knowing about it. And throughout the course of the film, he has to figure out: is this really a game? Is somebody really after him? Is somebody really after his money? Why exactly does his brother give him this game and this gift and so forth? So throughout the course of the film, we have to figure this out with Michael Douglas and figure out what exactly this whole game is about and who exactly is after him. And is this a game? Is this real? Or is there somebody really after him during this entire runtime? So overall, guys, like I said, I really like the game a lot. I don't think it's David Fincher's best film, but it's a very well-made film. It's definitely a film that you can definitely tell David Fincher was behind all this, just because it definitely is very masterfully crafted. There's a lot of thought and time and a lot of aspects of this film that were applied to it. So just a very well-made film, and I'm going to go over some positives and negatives that I liked for this film, and some things I didn't like about it. But for my positives, guys, I think it's a very tense film. Um, Throughout the course of the film, we really feel like we're stuck in this really bad situation with Michael Douglas and see him go through all these people who are kind of in on this thing, and he really doesn't know why. So it just feels very tense, very in the moment. It's a very tense movie. And that goes to my next compliment, which I think that Michael Douglas and Sean Penn are very good in this movie. And normally I'm not a big fan of Sean Penn. I liked Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's probably one of the few times that I really, really liked him in a movie. But he really is good here. He really is convincing as this brother who wants to give him this really weird gift for his brother's birthday. And Michael Douglas is very good in this film. He's very believable in these situations. He feels very scared or very, nervous or very angry about something. So the two of them do very well in this movie. It's also a very well shot movie. David Fincher's always good about this. He's always good about giving us all the cinematic information we need in this movie, how to get everything in the shot properly and things like that. So it's a very well shot film. You can tell once again that this is David Fincher. Even some visual cues throughout the movie reminding us why certain things are playing out the way they are. That's all thanks to David Fincher for really making sure that these visuals are on cue with everything, that everything looks good. He did a great job with all this. This is also a very mysterious and clever film. It's clever in a way that it's really is this game, and at times the game gets so serious where you're really not sure is this really is still a game or not. Like, it was a game at one point, but now it's not. It's also very mysterious in that way because this company is very unusual. They definitely handle their business in very unusual ways. So obviously I can't get into too much detail on that one for those who still haven't seen this movie, but It's just very mysterious and very clever. So David Fincher once again did a very good job with all that. This is also a very thrilling and sometimes scary film too. There's moments here that really feel like if that really happened to somebody, that would be really scary to witness. And it's thrilling, and in a way, it also works well as an action movie. There's a lot of really well shot action moments in this movie. Like I said, it's not like a straight up action movie, but when there is action in this movie, it works very well, and it feels like something that would belong to a really well crafted action movie as well. For my negatives of the game, normally I'm not a huge, I like the way David Fincher shoots his films and so forth, and for the most part, the lighting in his films don't bother me. But in this film specifically, there's a lot of shots that take place at night or in dark rooms that I feel are a little too dark. I feel some of the lighting in this film really wasn't that spectacular. There's just some shots here that where it's just really hard to see what exactly is going on at certain moments. So lighting wise, wasn't super impressed with this film. I think it's one of his weaker lit films when it comes to lighting. So as far as what really could have been improved, I think the lighting of this film really could have used that. And there's also times in the movie where the game itself either feels too minor or too huge. If they really wanted this to feel like a game and so forth. Don't rob this guy of his money or don't make him feel like he's going to get killed or anything. And at the same times too, there's some scenes that feel so minor about this. Like people feel like they're just in on it just to be in on it and so forth. So at some points, I really questioned myself, how far did they want to take this game? Because for me personally, there's times where they either took it way too seriously or not seriously enough. And then for my last negative, and I really can't get into too much detail on this either because of spoilers, but I thought overall the ending of this film was pretty predictable and kind of weak. Definitely the last moment of the movie where it's like the very last scene before the end credits start up. Very unusual way to end a movie. Very unusual for those who've seen this. And it's predictable in a way that, well, if you kind of pick up on Sean Penn's intentions of why he gave him this gift for his birthday, I think right there I kind of caught on right away where exactly this film was going, kind of thing. So it was a little predictable in that sense, but overall, I'm going to give the game an 8.5 out of 10. I think what really makes it impressive and why I liked it as much as I did is it does feel very tense. Michael Douglas and Sean Penn give very good performances, and I'm not a huge Sean Penn fan, so saying that he gave a good performance really does say something here. It works well as an action movie. It's well shot. It's mysterious and clever when it needs to be, and it's sometimes thrilling and scaring too. Like it really works as a thriller and as a horror film in some points. But like I said, I really think the lighting really needed to be better in this film. Was not too impressed with that part of it. The game itself either took itself too seriously or was too goofy at times. And the ending felt a little predictable and a little weak for my taste. So 8.5 out of 10 for me. If you haven't seen the game and you like David Fincher like I do, it's really not a bad film. It's definitely not his best film, but it's definitely not his worst. I think he has made films that are a little bit worse than this one. So pretty good movie. If you haven't seen it, it is on the Criterion Collection, if that means anything. Really good movie. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check out The Game.